What do you learn about the Holocaust in school?
Shalom, shalom. I'm from Germany. This is Menachem. He's Jewish. And today he will ask me the questions that Jewish people are too afraid to ask us Germans. And once again, my butthole very tight.
We're going to start off really easy. So question 1, was your grandfather a Nazi?
Well, define Nazi, okay? Here's the thing. My grandfather...
It's a yes or no.
Well, it is hard. He's not a raging Nazi. Like, he was a low-key Nazi, right? So my Nazi. Menachem, this is a tough question for me to answer. I think he was a Nazi, I guess, because he was born into it. But he was not agreeing with anything they ever said. The whole time he was reading Mein Kampf in school, in Hitler Youth, he was just shaking his head the whole time, but he just had to, right? He had to comply. Here's a fun fact about my grandpa. This is a real thing. He went to war.
Okay.
And he was fighting in the war for the not good side, the German side, right? And he went to Stalingrad, Russia, came back, was injured by a grenade splinter, came back to Germany. Did not know anything about the Holocaust until after the war, okay? So
Did he just not know it by name? Did he just call it something else? Fun party time?
They call it das große Grillfest, yeah. They did not advertise that shit. And I'm not trying to defend Nazis, okay?
Just one Nazi.
Just one Nazi. Just my grandpa, okay? I feel like I'm playing the hardest devil's avocado right now. Like, I feel like I'm Diddy's lawyer. You know, I'm just like doing PR for Germany right now. It's like, guys, you don't get it? Okay, it's not what we're thinking. By the way, where I was from, where he lived, southwest of Germany, no Jews there. So like,
why weren't there Jews there?
Even before, okay? Even before, there was no Jews there. So there was never that like hate towards Jews he had. They were just independent, doing their own thing. He was making cuckoo clocks and yodeling up the hills. He was like, you know, doing the German shit. And then the war broke out. He had to go to war real quick. He didn't work in a concentration camp or something like that.
He was just following orders.
He was just following.
Now that you're comfortable,
I think I did.
Your butthole's a little looser.
I think I did fantastic on that one, by the way.
So follow-up question.
Okay.
Question 2. Was your other grandfather a Nazi? I assume you have 2.
Don't be such a Nazi about it, okay? What is this, a fucking Mossad interrogation? Jesus fucking Christ. Here's the thing. My other grandpa, from my mom's side, was sent to war when he was 15 years old.
And for the record, that's old. Nazis started at like
old,
10.
Right? Like, Nazis usually, you know, they start at age 9. It's the best age. Poland was just taken over by a bunch of 9-year-olds. When Germany lost the war and he was sent to France, was there for a little bit. Then D-Day happened, the Allies came in, liberated France, and then he was a prisoner of war for 2 years in France. And then he came back, and again, he came back and was like, oh, Holocaust, what? Yeah, nobody knew. Nobody knew. Nobody in Germany knew about the Holocaust. Nobody had any idea. They were all like, we don't know what's up. Not a single person knew what was happening. It was just Hitler.
Just him single-handedly, just...
Hitler alone. If you think about this, every movie, every news article, every radio segment was controlled by the Nazis. There was no social media where you get the other side. Yeah, if you go through that level of indoctrination, it's hard not to be a Nazi, you know? And then people always say, oh yeah, I would have stood up against the Nazi regime, which is an incredibly noble thing to do, and I hope everybody would do that. But the reality is, it's not as easy as it seems.
Which is perfect, because this leads just directly into my next question. Would you have been a Nazi?
I will say, purely based on fashion, possibly. Okay, possibly. Because like the fashion...
They did look good. They looked good. Whether you liked them or not, they looked good.
They put the fashion in fascism. That's right, thanks man. Again, I'm gonna be very honest with you. I love everybody. I have a lot of empathy. It comes natural to me. I have empathy for everybody, even both sides. Like, I lean more liberal, but like my wife is super liberal, right? But I have empathy also for the hate towards, you know, Trump supporters and like this hatred that we don't see each other as humans. I've done enough mushrooms in my life to realize that we're all the same. It doesn't matter if you're German, Israeli, Palestinian, Jewish, whatever. It doesn't matter. We're all the same. And it's all an illusion, right? So I think based on that, I would hope that I would look past that and have so much empathy. But when you're faced with the decision of standing up for somebody who's being oppressed versus risking your own life, I can't say that I would make that decision. And I'll be very honest about that. I hope I would, but it's hard to talk the talk, but you have to also suck the cock.
That is a saying. I learned that in synagogue.
Can I ask you a question? How do you feel now about people saying that the Jews are the new Nazis with what's happening in the Middle East? Huh? I'm turning this around on you. Yeah?
I would say that, like you said, Nazism is mostly based in fashion, and do Israelis dress that fashionably? So clearly they're wrong.
Interesting. So
Because Nazism, it's not just a mindset, it's also a
that's the
fashion
weakest
brand.
argument I've ever heard in my life. We can't be fascists because we don't dress well.
dress well.
I always find it funny when people call Trump supporters Nazis because I'm like, that's not fair to the Nazis. Because have you seen them?
They killed 6 million.
I'm
That's
not
like efficiency.
I'm not afraid of you if you wear flip-flops and Hawaiian shirts to a rally, right? I feel like that just immediately defeats the purpose. But you're right. North Korea.
Scared
Kim
me up.
Jong-un, huh?
No, it's so normal that you had that ready to go.
Supreme
So normal, like
leader?
Yeah, one
Fashion.
second. Let me grab my Hitler one. It's in other pants, left in my other pants.
It was a
I also-
Halloween outfit. My wife made it for me. I was Kim Jong-un for Halloween last year. I just can't dress up as Hitler, okay? So I had to choose a different supreme leader. Who was the worst group of people before the Nazis?
That's what I'm thinking. Like
Probably also the Germans in World War
Just like
One.
World War One.
Just the Germans, you know?
before then, there was someone before.
You know, before that it was the Germans in the Franco-Prussian War.
You're not great at winning wars. You guys are great at starting wars, and you're great at having
Just-
your wars turned into movies. But
just
you're not
wait.
great at.
Third time's a charm. We're not done yet!
Why are Germans so unfunny? Like, I think you're like the only German I know that even attempts making jokes.
I think what happened is after World War II and after all the horrible things we did,
We'll name them in a different video.
we're like, yeah, I don't know if you guys are history buffs, but we weren't so good. So we were like, okay, we gotta do something. So we just focused on, hey, let's just focus on being nice, being efficient, not showing too many emotions, put a butt plug in our ass and always be the nice Germans and then make a little bit of good cars so people like us better, you know? We're like, oh, here the Germans do this, you know what I'm saying? That was our way of coping with things. We're not known for the ha-has. We have less fun as Germans, true, but we're more on time, yeah? We don't fluff talk as much.
So if you're not having fun, you're on time to what?
to the work, yeah? To make more cars so people like us more. Like I think Jewish people, y'all went through a lot, obviously, sorry, and then you cope with humor. And I think we Germans, sure, we went through a lot as a result of the Second World War, which we've caused though. So we don't feel like the victims that were oppressed, like black people or Jewish people who were very funny, but we Germans, we were just the oppressors. So oppressors don't get to be funny. That's just the rules. I didn't make the rules. We just follow them as we do. Truly, here's the thing also. I used to be a male model, no big deal. And I felt like I had to hide my funniness. I was always a silly kid. But then as you have to like this hot stoic German with like, you know, show your jawline. I was like, no, I'm gonna make it haha jokey joke. And I want to prove to the world that we Germans can be very funny people.
You are very funny for a German.
The bar is low. My goal is I want to become the most famous German comedian.
Congratulations.
I think I did.
You've made it. Oh, win! Set the goals low.
And I better
you
succeed because you never want to reject a German with the dream of being an artist, yeah?
Would you be okay if your child married a Jew?
What kind of Jew?
A Jewish one?
Yeah, I'd love that.
Love.
Not love, but I wouldn't. Yeah, for sure.
Are you
How
fetishizing?
Jewish? What's the right answer here? What are the? I can't hate it, but I can't
Forget
love
it too excited. Don't love it too much.
Hate it. I was like, I would feel a little less guilty, right? I felt like there's some inclusion and we're bringing things together. On the other hand, I would feel forever, eternally guilty if I look at how much money I'm spending for my beautiful Jewish wife out of guilt. It's concerning. Like we had a wedding and she was like, hey Mario, let's get married at a castle. Let's get a bigger castle. Let's hire a yodeler. Let's get a stage so the yodeler can stand on a stage so he looks more yodely. And I'm like, cool, this is gonna be another $10,000. And I was like, this is gonna be a little expensive. And then she just, you know, puts Anne Frank on the table. I'm like, a yodeler it is. I think, to be fair, if a child was super religious, like uber Jew, it'd just be a cultural
Right. Would you feel that way about any
issue.
religion if they were
but
like
I would
the
feel
most...
like that about Muslims too. If my child was super Catholic too, it doesn't matter. Like any
Scientologists.
They're kind of hot, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they make it
no,
Hollywood.
but yeah, if it's about religion, for sure. If it's about race, then definitely. My wife is Jewish, by the way, but she's like the.
Just notice he did the my wife is Jewish, not... It was good. It was close. It was close. It was good. It was safe.
My wife's Jewish, by the way. She's the most German-looking Jew ever, probably.
Oh, yeah.
Like she's blonde hair, blue eyes. She looks like a Heidi.
She's a Jew, but she's German propaganda. Do you think everyone should look like you?
No, I don't think everybody should look like me. Because if everybody was hot, then nobody would be hot.
It's true.
And then I wouldn't be hot anymore. And I wouldn't want
It's good
that.
to be hot.
It's good to be hot.
good to be hot.
So can I ask you, do you feel like your people are not as good looking or inferior in some regards? This is a tough question to pull off. When I asked it, I was like, this is going to be a good question, but halfway through I was like...
abort! Abort! No, I think that we definitely have our own unique look, but all Jews are beautiful.
But also, y'all are fucking smart.
But smart people don't get free things. Hot people get free things.
But if you're smart enough so you can be billionaire, egomaniacal, supervillain rich, then
I still
you
don't
get
want to
everything.
buy it, though.
Yeah, true. You still got.
How many things does Lex Luthor buy?
That's a good point.
Next question.
All
Are
right.
you ready? What do you learn about the Holocaust in school? Because your grandfathers learned nothing. So I'm just wondering.
Nothing.
They knew nothing. They knew nothing.
Not aware of anything that happened, right? They didn't know anything. We Germans learn about everything, about the Holocaust. I think it's good. Some people argue it's almost too much, to the point where it's all we learn about. Just to give you some perspective. One history class started in Germany. It started in 5th grade with ancient Egypt, right? The first democracy. Then a little bit of like French Revolution and stuff like that, right? This is all things Americans have no idea about, obviously.
I didn't know there were other countries until 6th grade.
So France is a country in Europe, which is a continent that's not America. Like America, there's a globe, right? And there's America, and then there's other places. So the point is, from 7th grade to the end of high school, we learn about everything. It starts with the discrimination against Jewish people in the 30s, right? The Reichspogromnacht. Sorry, that sounded a little... Sorry, that's what it's called.
Yeah.
What's it called? The Reichskristallnacht. It's like the Reichspogromnacht. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
All the way till Hitler took power, to the more systematic exterminations of Jews, all the way to the end of the Second World War. And I think it's good that we learn about it, because say what you want about Germany. We did a lot of fucked up things in the world, yeah? Many of them. Yeah, we don't have to name them all. But I think we did a decent job at taking accountability, right? Because I feel like other countries, like, sure, Spain had a dictatorship. They just passed a law to forget about all the crimes and move the fuck on. I think America, a lot of the stuff about slavery wasn't taught.
Spain got rid of their Jews. They don't talk about the Inquisition.
They got rid of their Jews also.
Yeah.
Exactly. So the interesting thing that I find fascinating is that we have all this guilt towards Jews, but we don't know what to do with it because we never meet Jews. So it's this interesting thing where we learn everything about Judaism in terms of the discrimination against Jews, but we know nothing about Jews culturally.
So they don't bring one to class with them. They're like, so today we will be learning about the Jew. Look at the nose, the head structure, the body. No.
Okay, for example, my friend Uwe, right? I gave him a dreidel for Christmas, and he thought it was a butt plug.
Wait, but was it?
I mean, this is besides the point, but yes, it can be used as a butt plug. I'm not endorsing dreidel play. I'm just saying it's possible. It's like in America, you have guilt towards black people. Some people do. Actually, very few people. But you have a cultural crossover because you meet black people. There's music, right? There's rap music. There's cultural overlap. Whereas with Germans, we have the guilt, but we don't have the Jews.
Why don't you have the Jews?
I truly think that the Germans would love the Jews now. We would love to come back, okay? Things have changed. We've made a couple of upgrades, yeah?
I'm not gonna do it twice in a row. We're gonna do it twice in a row. What's it like being married to a Jew?
I love it. No complaints. I'm married to a Jewish girl who's not very Jewish, though. She's not very religious.
Is that the way you like your Jewish women?
Kinda. I like them just Jewish enough so I can claim the label. Sometimes I wish she was a little more Jewish, because I do think, and I told you this, and I'm not trying to suck your dick or anything. I'm not trying to suck your Jewish dick. I'm just saying, I do love a lot of parts of Jewish culture. I did Shabbat at Burning Man, and I think that was such a beautiful custom of people coming together, taking a day off, focusing on family. I think that's something beautiful, and I genuinely had a great time with that. And she doesn't do Shabbat, right? Her family, they're Jewish to the extent that they're lawyers and stuff like that, right? So I sometimes wish there was a bit more of a cultural rooting in the religion. But again, if it's super religious, maybe that's also tough for me because I'm not Jewish. I wish she was 9% more Jewish.
What's your favorite part about the Jews?
My favorite part about the Jews, honestly, is how funny they are and how fucking dark their humor is. They're the darkest people, not skin color wise at all. You guys are high achievers, but you still are funny, which is very different from us Germans. Because we do all the high achieving stuff, but we just don't smile or laugh while we do it.
It's inefficient. What do you hate the most about Jews?
Finally, so I've been trying to say this for a very long time. Here's what I don't like about the Jews. I love everything. I love many things. I don't like the fact that so many Jews are unpunctual. And I want to know why that is.
We're not a punctual people.
But why? You guys could just be on time. You just could make a choice to be like, oh, there's going to be traffic, so I'm going to leave a little bit earlier to get there on time.
Firstly, if I was going to meet a German, Like, you can't complain.
You sound just like my wife. She's like, oh yeah, we're German. We're on time for the train, so now we're gonna be late. Yeah.
Jews are constantly like living in existential crisis. We don't know when we're gonna live. We don't know when we're gonna die. And it's like, being on time to your thing, it's not the most important thing for me today.
Yeah. What I not like about the Jews, I'm thinking like a little bit of like pessimism maybe. I also don't like the same thing about Germans. I think a bit of the rigidity and also looking at the worst possible outcome rather than seeing the positive. It's a very Jewish thing, but also a very German thing.
Yeah, it's a weird, like, the Jewish mother, like, pessimism is also very funny. If you, like, ever tell your Jewish mother, you're like, hey, Ma, I didn't like that you did this. She's not like, oh my gosh, I'm sorry, I'll try to do different next time. She'll just be like, so I can never do anything right.
Yeah.
And it's like the worst. It's like, no, you did a lot of things right. 9 out of 10 things right. I just didn't like this one thing.
That's the only thing. Other than that, I love everything about the Jews. I love the Jews.
What is the German stance on the Israel-Palestine conflict? Not your personal stance. Like, I want you to speak on behalf of Germany as a whole.
There's a lot of responsibility right now.
No pressure.
I'm not representing every single German out there in the country of Germany. Germany, historically, was always very pro-Israel. So when October 7th happened, right? The Germans were like, hey, horrible what's happening. We're also low-key happy it was not us this time. But it's horrible, but also like it's good that it's not us for once. Okay, not the bad woo was one time. So back to your question. And then Germany was like, okay, yo, Israel, go get them, yeah. And after like a couple of months, they asked Germany again. They were like, hey, what do you think? You know, should this be considered a genocide? And then Germany went in front of the UN saying that the attack should not be considered genocide. Which I was also like, how are we Germans allowed to vote in this? Like, who
You guys are the experts.
But we are the genocide experts. Like we would know what genocide is.
You invented it.
We did it first, okay?
And you're like, no, not efficient. There's
exactly. And we were like, no, this attack is horrible attacks, very bad, yeah? But compared to what we did, this is a pille-palle, yeah? Our genocide was way superior, yeah? Because it's almost like when you as a German criticize Israel, which, you know, I think criticizing government Israel, very reasonable. But like as a German, there's always this undertone of like, if you criticize Israel, it's like, oh, the Nazis are back, you know what I'm saying? So you almost have to be like, yeah, Israel, maybe some of these things are not so good, but we still did it way worse, okay? So don't worry about it. By the way, Germany also, real talk, very split on this whole issue. I think we were leaning more pro-Israel, but now obviously with social media, I mean, there's a lot of attention towards the horrible things that are happening. So now when they asked Germany recently, they were like, hey, Germany, so what do you think now about the whole situation? We Germans were like, we will ask the questions! No, just like avoided the question.
So, and I want you to answer honestly, are you excited when people are now calling Israelis and Trump supporters Nazis? Are you finally like, we're done, it's over, they don't call the Germans Nazis anymore, back in history we were the Nazis, now we're clean, new Nazis?
That's a tough question. On the one hand, yeah, I feel like, yeah, the attention is not on Germany anymore. We Germans have a fucking great reputation now, by the way. It's mind-blowing how Germany's turned things around. People still make fun of us being Nazis all the time, but like, Germany is one of the most popular countries in the world. There's a statistic that came out, Germany's #1 most popular country in the world. Because we're good tourists. When we go to a place, we don't trash the place like the British. You know, I talked to an Egyptian guy and he was like, hey, tourists come, we hate the Russians, we hate the British, they drink, the French are cunts, the Germans are
What
nuts,
do they think of the Israelis?
The Israelis they didn't like as much, we didn't talk about them. But my problem with the word Nazi is that it still refers to us Germans. Germany is the epitome of evil. It is what we use to describe something evil. So it's still about us. And what I find problematic with the term Nazi is how liberally it is being used nowadays. If you call everybody a Nazi, that almost takes away from the severeness of what the Nazis did. Because I want to downplay things, but if you call Trump supporters Nazis, I get the sentiment behind that. But like, Trump supporters, I feel like we're not on the level of like a systematic genocide, right? So I think that is a bit of a term that's just overused, I feel like. When you call, like, oh, she's a parking Nazi. You know, and I get it, it's funny, but also, we are the real Nazis!
If you're gonna Nazi right? No, Nazi in flip-flops. Do you speak any Hebrew?
Shalom, shalom. Hummus, hummus. Shalom aleichem.
You have a good ch. I'm very
Bagel.
impressed with your ch. Do you just say
Matzah.
bagel? Do you think bagel is Hebrew?
Hebrew is a little fucked up language, though. If Israel had the history Germany had, people would be afraid of Hebrew.
Yeah.
Hebrew sounds horrible, but so does Arab, to be honest.
But
like
also,
when I hear Arab people, just like the ch sounds aggressive as fuck. And we Germans have it too with the ich liebe dich. And Hebrew is even more like ch. Hanukkah.
I think one of the issues also with Hebrew is they speak so fast. It's like the language was built around like the culture. It's like we might have to run to a bomb shelter. We might like die at any minute. I need to get this information to you right now.
100%.
And it's so fast.
Hitler fucked it up for us because of the level of aggression and passion with which he would speak. And that's what kind of fucked up the language. But objectively, there's a lot of language that sound messed up. Hebrew is one of them for sure.
So you're saying that like Germany would have been the love language, but Hitler kind of ruined it.
Germany would have 1000% been the language of love.
You heard it here.
If it weren't for Hitler.
Hitler just screwed it up. It was.
But French sounds fucked up too. Croissant, croissant. They sound retarded.
But have you ever eaten a croissant? Delicious.
I prefer a pumpernickel, but that's just me. I love the drama before, just like...
I'm trying to do it's like the 60 minutes. Do you feel guilt for what your ancestors did?
Every day. Let me tell you something about being German. It's not easy. It's not easy. We genuinely have so much guilt. I've had the great fortune to spend so much time with Jews, and it's been lovely. But there's moments where I just feel this overwhelming level of guilt. There's one moment I remember this. I was invited to a Thanksgiving party, one of her friends, and the mom is Jewish, right? She's still older, and I told her I was from Germany, and I asked her, have you ever been to Germany? And she was like, no, because I have not forgiven the Germans yet for what they did. And like most Thanksgiving dinners are being ruined because of some sort of family drama, but I was genuinely there. I was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Like, but I didn't know like, what am I supposed to do? Because I didn't do anything personally, right? But also I think you feel a little too much guilt. I think we gotta like move past it, but still being aware of it. It's just a hard balance to have, right? Because we wanna be aware of our past, but also we wanna like move on. What I think is not good is not having any sort of like pride in Germany. I'm happy I grew up in Germany. Now, present day Germany, yeah. Now, nice. Good country, very good country, yeah. Some things are going wrong, but obviously, I think Germany is a well-run country. I'm proud to be German, but even saying that feels weird, right? Like having a World Cup and chanting for Germany, Deutschland auf, geht Deutschland noch ein Tor. It feels off, you know.
Yeah.
So that's what I deal with every day.
My butthole got tighter.
Yeah. Did you get a little turned on though, maybe?
Would it make you feel good if you gave me $5 to like let some of your guilt go?
Now you spoke like a real Jew. I think so. I think that's what Germany's doing too. We do.
If we got like...
No, we pay Israel money.
I'm not Israeli.
But like, I know you not personally, but like the state of Israel, Germany is basically giving weapons to Israel. But also like, we actually did pay reparations. Not to you. Okay, we'll pay more. We pay more. We do forever, yeah. When will the time have come where we'll just like have moved on from it?
First off, when Hollywood stops making movies about it, there obviously we should be taught about it to make sure things like that don't happen again. But I think that like for a good reason we should have like, again, Holocaust museums and like places to talk about it and mention it and like keep it alive.
Have you ever been to a concentration camp?
I've not. Are you inviting me to one?
You've not seen it. Not seen it.
I don't know if I want like you to be inviting me to one. Like
we should make it a trip.
Have you been?
You and I.
Have you been to Auschwitz?
I've been, yeah. No, I've been to Dachau.
Wow, my friend went to Dachau. Crazy. I want to go. I just haven't. It's like on my list of things to do, but it's yeah. That's
yeah. It's not a thing that's like, oh, let's go to Disneyland. You know, it's a little. It's wild.
As much as you were there and like, oh my gosh, this is crazy that this happened. Were you able to appreciate the efficiency of the building?
No.
Good.
Zero appreciation for that. Yeah. How do you as a Jew feel about people denying the Holocaust? Like, do you think 6 million is a high number? Like, do you think it's physically possible?
To me, it's crazy when people want to deny something that is documented by the people who did it. If it was like the Jews finding stuff and it's like, we're proving it, that's one thing, but it's like, the Germans photographed it, the Germans documented everything, the Germans kept records, like people forget, it's like, why do we know what temperature human skin freezes at? Because they experimented on Jews. There's a lot of things that the Germans documented what they did.
I mean, if anybody had an accurate documentation of events, it is the Germans.
That's where efficiency kicked them in the butt.
And if anybody could have done those numbers, it would also be the Germans. If somebody told me that Italians killed 6 million Jews, I bet there's no fucking way. They'd be like, another time, you know, with Italians. No way. What was the question?
Would you hide me in your attic?
Yeah. Right, yeah, I have actually already prepared this little space for you. Yeah, right there. Look, I mean, you gotta like
squeeze.
You small. You gotta squeeze. Yeah, you gotta hide me. Because no, you're cool. I like you.
Cool.
You're very cool for a Jew. And as a person,
And would you drive me to the airport?
No, that's where I draw the line.
Okay, healthy boundaries.
Yeah, definitely not to the train station.
Do you think in German?
I think in Hebrew actually. Shalom, shalom. I think in English. When I'm in England, when I'm in America, I think in American. Seriously, when I'm in Germany, I think in German because I'm used to the language. Right now, I think in English.
Dreams.
Dreams are kind of non-verbal.
Oh, you have silent dreams? Like you have like mimes?
It's mainly just like visual dreams of me just, saving a lot of Jewish people and hiding them in my attic and just being a hero. That's what I dream every night.
And you can't speak to them because you don't...
So I speak to them in Hebrew. Hummus, hummus.
Hummus.
Last time a German had a dream, it didn't go so well. So we're like...
What would you do if you didn't get accepted into art school?
I mean, probably... If I didn't get into art school, I'd probably just go to Poland in September and try to join the winter semester there in Warsaw. Go to school there. A little summer semester in France. Gonna be quick. And if that doesn't work, I'm gonna go to Russia. Chill there for a bit and then everywhere else!
We established that both your grandparents were Nazis.
Not in any kind of way. Technically, yeah.
Technically. We established that technically your grandparents are Nazis.
Yeah.
And that your wife is Jewish.
What Jewish wife?
So your grandparents tried to fuck the Jews and you succeeded. How does that make you feel?
Again, he didn't try to fuck the Jews. He tried to fuck the Soviets. I'm just glad that I could make my grandpa proud.
How old were you when you met your first Jew?
I met some Jews and I didn't know they were Jews probably. And I have a good radar for those kind of things. Just inherently, I have a Judar.
You were bred.
I was bred to
know who's Jewish and who's not.
Just walk around the crowd, Jew, it's like squirrel, squirrel. My first Jew I met was when I was 22 years old in Williamsburg, New York. Very Jewish neighborhood where I saw the curly curls, right? And the hats and all that stuff. I remember this specifically. I was walking around New York and these guys would ask me, younger guys, they'd be like, hey, are you Jewish? I just couldn't tell them because I'm not only not Jewish, I'm the opposite, right? And then I just I killed them. What can I do? I'm kidding. Jokey joke, I didn't know. I just ran away. It was so awkward. I was like, I need to go. I just ran away,
What is worse to you? Someone who is super late or someone who is Jewish?
Super late.
I'm glad you didn't hesitate.
Yeah,
that was
no,
good,
I didn't.
fast,
I thought,
efficient
yeah,
answer.
I thought, yeah. There was no pause at all. No. Don't cut to the pause at all. Actually, how late are we talking to?
3 minutes.
How Jewish are we talking? On a scale from like 1 to...
Curly curls.
Is that on sale? No, the late part for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do your parents know that your wife's Jewish?
Mama. It's not something I open with, I wanted them to meet her first, know she's cool, and then tell them. Not because they would have anything against her. It is a thing that when my German friends met my wife, they meet her as a blonde girl with blue eyes, right? When I bring up that she's Jewish, they get a little bit of the butthole clenching, right? Because we don't meet Jews. So it's not like we hate them. It's just like we get nervous around them. It's a true thing. Even at our wedding, so many Jews at our wedding. It was like so many. It was good thing, yeah? So many Jews came to our wedding. I did a hora, you know what I'm saying? We broke the glass and then we did a German tradition where we annihilated wood together. We never practiced hanging out with Jews. We should have some sort of Jew simulator to know how to deal with Jews and be cool. But Germans, we get awkward. We're already awkward people socially. We're not the best social people. But when you mention somebody's Jewish, we just become fucking weirdos,
I can respect that.
It's true. Yeah.
Has anyone assumed your wife wasn't Jewish and you didn't correct them? Like they were like, wow, this beautiful Aryan girl you brought home, and you're like, yeah.
Depending who I'm talking to, you gotta choose your audience a little bit,
Right.
Like if I'm talking to my Nazi relatives, I'm probably not gonna bring... What's up, baby?
I'm underwater.
Oh.
Putting the
Thank you.
We're just talking about you, baby.
In what capacity?
Mostly good things. No, he's been very nice.
That was her.
She knows.
She knows.
She knows. The Jewish wife always knows.
She knows, yeah. See, we're good friends. And follow Menachem Silverstein. Follow me on tourmaraadrian.com. And check out the other video we made where I ask him the questions that we Germans are too afraid to ask. Subscribe and shalom, shalom.